Do you know that after the fall of Enugu during the Nigerian Civil War on 29th September 1967, after the fall of Enugu, the then head of state, General Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu, he created a brigade, or rather a battalion in those days, that was known as the S Battalion. The S Battalion later grew into a brigade, and it later grew into a division. And now, what really happened was that the S Battalion, they have special qualities, or rather, they were given special treatment in those days in the Nigerian Civil War. Now, this was the people that the head of state created by himself for himself, and he placed their command directly under him as the head of state, instead of placing the command under the army headquarters. He placed the command of the S Battalion that he created right under him. And then what really happened was that on the first time that these guys went into battle, because they were fed well, they were given ammunition, they were issued with weapons, they were trained people. And then the first time that they went into battle, from the instructions that the commander of the Biafran forces gave to them, they were thrown into battle. And then halfway through their battle, they have not finished their task. All of them turned back because their ammunition has finished, and they thought, and in their own mind, they thought that what really happened was that their commanders were withholding ammunition from them. What really happened is that they left their military task that they were supposed to continue with. They left it, and they began to catch it. They went back to catch a train that is going to Umuahia, the then capital of the new republic at that time. They said that they were going to leave their fighting and go catch a train to Umuahia so that they can meet the head of state and tell the head of state their problems, so that the head of state can solve their problems. Who fights a battle like that? I mean, who fights a war like that? That you are in the front lines fighting, and then after some time, when you have depleted your ammunition and weapons, you decided to abandon your task, go back and talk to the head of state. Isn't that laughable? I mean, this is what we're talking about, and people are behaving in that manner. But that is exactly what the S Brigade did in that time during the Nigerian Civil War. And the task that they abandoned was a counterattack to retake Enugu. But they abandoned that task, and then they had to return to Umuahia to speak with the head of state. But the GOC of the Biafran forces tried all he can to convince these people to come back to the front lines and continue with their push so that they can retake Enugu as early as possible. But more than half of the forces in the S Battalion refused, and they entered the train and began to go to Umuahia to meet the then head of state. Know your history. Let me come.